Hey guys, this is Jules for Wild Orchid Crafts. Welcome to this video project tutorial today. I'm going to be sharing a two-part video of this project, and hopefully it'll inspire you guys to create some of these of your own. So let's get started. So here are my projects for April, which are the rainy day projects that I didn't get done, so I apologize that that is a little late. But I made some sprays, some big ones and some little ones, some vintagey kind of grunge ones, and some shabby chic ones, and a summer one. Last minute additions that I don't have on the video are the additions of some charms that I added onto the ribbons, and I'll show you that in just a second. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to introduce one to you, and then we're going to go into the video tutorial of how I made that one. Then I'll show you another one, and then the video tutorial to show you how I created that one. So I have a product list over on my blog that has links to it, so that when you click on it, it'll take you directly to the website on Wild Orchid Crafts, to that specific page for that product. That way you can see the size that I used and the color that I used and whatnot, since some of these are sprayed like the black ones. And I have detailed photos over on my blog too, so you can see a little bit of up close photographs of the sprays and the swag that I made. So let me show you the two vintage grunge ones that I did. I did one a little bit more fancier than the other. This one here is just a few of the cherry blossoms and a couple different sized leaves and some of the little crystal stems that Wild Orchid Crafts has that I took apart and rewired them to suit what I was trying to do. So I used the little crystal hearts there. Super cute little tiny leaves. So there's that one, and then there is this one. This one has one of Wild Orchid Crafts charms, and let me show you a picture of that here. What I did is I spray painted it black, the back and the front of it, and put it on a couple of jump rings and slipped it through the little knot there. And I added a couple of feathers onto this one to give that vintagey kind of a look to it. And I haven't seen any sprays that has feathers on it quite like this, so I hope that I was able to create a different look to them with using those sprays, the little crystal hearts and the stamens. So let me show you how I created these. So first you're going to want some floral tape. I have these two kinds, and some 26 gauge wire, floral wire, and yes, some jute rope, and you'll see why I use that later. Here's some Frolic in the Forest black Lindy Stamp Gang Starburst spray. And I'm using this to paint onto the flowers because the yellow stamens in the center are porous and it will absorb the dye, and I don't want them to be black. I want them to pop with that yellow, and they do. They look really well. The spray has some green glitter in it, some green shimmer, and it looks beautiful. You can see it here. I love it. And I think that's why it's called Frolic in the Forest, because it's green. So this is using cement green, and it gives a beautiful light green, like grassy green color to the paper leaf that I have here. These are stemless, so I had to create one of my own. So I doubled up on the wire, about 8 inches that I folded to make it about 4 inches long. And that way I have enough of wire to be able to put them in my sprays. So with the paper leaf there, I just add a little bit of vintage photo just on the edges and a tiny little bit on the top to give a vintage feel. Kind of gives it a little bit more of a highlighted color, kind of frames it so it makes it pop. So on the back side, I just add a little bit of hot glue, and it's not that hot when I did this, so I didn't do that on here. I did use my tool. And for the white one layer to stick the wire down, and another layer of glue just to kind of seal it. Easy peasy. So after the cherry blossoms all dried, I went ahead and grabbed one or two leaves, different sizes, and added it to the cherry blossom. I add a little bit of glue that'll just help the tape stick a little bit better. So you want to stretch it. When you get this floral tape, you want to stretch it out, and it kind of activates the adhesive that's already on it. And it's somewhat sticky, a little stickier than a Post-it note. Takes a minute to get started, so you want to be patient with it when you first get it started, but you want to make sure that the tape is pushed up all the way to the very bottom underneath the flower. And then you just twist it all the way around. I'm going to do another one really quick here for you. Just using one leaf here, a little bit of glue. And this one took me a second, it kept slipping, but I made sure that I got some glue in the tape there and pushed it all the way up. And as I twisted, it kept twisting itself, so I had to keep holding it down. See, if the wire seems too long, I'll just clip it off. And just stretch it as you go. Stretch the tape to activate the adhesive again and keep twisting. And you want to do a tight twist when you do this so that it stays put. Then I grabbed some of the crystal hearts from the little stamen sprays that they have, and just kind of made my own. And you can mix and match however you want. So I wanted to make sure that I let you guys know this. I didn't want the wire at the tip as I'm twisting it. I don't want it to poke me or snag on anything. So you'll notice I'm going to slow down when I put this one on here. I'll slow down the video just a tiny bit. And you want to make sure that you press it loosely, still able to twist it, but pressing the very tip to the to make it get as close as you can to the stem. And that way it stays really close and it's tightly bound, because these are not going to get covered with the floral tape. Okay, there's that. Now, you know, when I was doing this, I didn't think that I was going to do the crystal stain, the crystals onto these particular blossoms. So I added them after, but you want to make sure that you put everything in the first time, because otherwise your stems will be a little thick, which is still, it's not too bad, but I just soon would have just done it to begin with leaves, adding those little crystal stems and stuff. So nice and tight, pull in the tape and twisting. See, I want a little curlicue, so I ended up taking off the little stamen berries or whatever those are off of that stem, and it actually is just long enough to make a little curlicue for one of the cherry blossoms that I wanted. I'm going to wrap the tape around the back just to kind of hide some of the wire a little bit better. Kind of helps with stabilizing it too. And you can still move them around, so not too bad. So I'm going to add the one-hearted crystal to that one. So I just press the wire, the very tip of the wire down as much as I can to the stem so that they don't poke up. So just going to finish that up, adding a little bit more glue just to close it up. So stretching it. When you stretch it, it turns a little bit white. So I ended up just taking off this little piece just because it just seemed like too much. The floral tapes too you can find at Joann's or Michael's or pretty much any craft store or any floral shop. I'm just going to curl that little Q there and have that be the only one. And then there's that one. So what I'm going to do is grab these little stamen guys and grab the forest and the Frolic in the Forest Black again. And I'm going to dip these in because these little stamens are porous and will absorb the dye. So I dipped one of these stems, I dipped it once on each end, and then I grabbed another one and dipped it. and kept dipping it. I did like 3 dips on this one on each end, and they just soaked it up like a little sponge. So there it goes again. You see the difference? Nice, huh? So I didn't want the stark white, of course, so I ended up using these for this particular spray. So I wrapped that spray around the cherry blossom stem. That helps with them not slipping out, because I hate adjusting a leaf on a spray, store-bought spray, and then the leaf pulls out or the flower pulls out. I hate that. So that's why I use glue. That's why I use, the wire. I wrap it up really good to kind of anchor it down. So here we go again with the glue and just doing a tight twist. The glue that I'm using is from Helmar's. It's called Professional Acid-Free Glue. It works pretty good. It dries clear, although it comes on white. So this is the second little spray, and I'm anchoring it down again. So it works really well for layering. So you'll have nice tall sprays, and then some other stuff like the leaf and the crystals closer to the flower, and it gives it a good accent. I really like it. So here I added the feathers, and so I'm unwrapping it to get the feathers in there. And of course, again, this was a last minute addition. I didn't think about it at the beginning. So I added two of them, and I'm clipping out a little bit so I can have some of the feather stem part of it, the spine of it, so I can glue it down. I don't want too much bulk under the tape. So I added the 2 little feathers down at the bottom of the spray there, and it gave a cute look. I really liked how it looked. So there are the 2 sprays with the black. Very pretty. Next up is one of my favorites. This one is a 10-inch. This is a 10-inch floral spray that I used some of the new products, the wild rosebuds that are the new addition here, and I used 3 different leaves here. I used the 3-tone actually. This one has the pink, the white, the cream, and then the green, so it has that shabby chic color tone. And here's another leaf that's one of the 1.5-inch, I believe it is, green leaves. And here's another 3-tone and another 3-tone leaf, and back there. And so there's 4 rosebuds, and there's 2 flowers, and then the green leaves, and then the white. This is the only one that has a white leaf on it. And then I added a white feather for a shabby chic feel. So it has that whimsical look too, with the little pearl stems on it from Walder Crafts. These are absolutely adorable. That's it. That's for this one here, and very beautiful. So let me show you how I did this. So I'm going to grab these stamens and use them to make flower centers, and at the same time create a stem for these single layered flowers. That way I can add them to my sprays. Just with a little dab of hot glue actually in the very center there, and then I'm going to pull them up to create a lift. So I'll do that to a few here. Picking off some of the glue. So I have my little bundle going there, and now I can start on getting them sprayed down. So I'm going to grab some wild rosebuds. These are some of the new ones. So what I'm going to do is just get my Royal Crimson Fire Lindy Stamp Gang spray, and I'm going to peel my leaves back just in case they bleed. I think the dark ones are the ones that bleed. These ones don't too much, but so you want to spray them down and dry them, and then once they're done, I'm going to just glue the little leaves back on.